lunch.
It's January 12th, 2021, and this is the Good Cafe. Brought to you by your friends at the Go Open Data Association. We're serving up open data chat at the cafe. And on today's menu, version 2.0 of the Go Open Data Association. I'm told the coffee's ready, so let's serve it up. Hi there, welcome to the cafe. I'm Keith McDonald, and welcome aboard. It's nice to be open, even though we're virtual. And I should point out, we're actually recording today, so if you're a little worried about that, just be aware that we're recording it for future looks at, so people can see it on our website if they weren't able to attend. So I'm your barista for the Good Cafe, and also the Director of Communications for Good. And this is a series of bi-monthly chats, so this is our premiere episode. And it really is like a coffee break, lunch break. We decided to be offer this option every second month just because it's a little less informal, but no less informational than a full webinar. And we'll be talking about our webinars in the coming minutes. So we'll have special guests attending the cafe and literally just talk about open data things and issues and invite you into the conversation as we get discussing. And we'll do that today after we talk about some of the good things happening with Good. And we've got our Good team members, some of them here today to talk to what's up. And it's all about version 2.0. We're kind of reintroducing ourselves. If you're Gwen Stefani fans, you know she's got this single out where she's reintroducing herself. So we thought we'd do the same kind of thing and make it V2.0 for Good. So we got lots to tell you. We're going to introduce who's talking with us today. Yuri, if you want to bring on your camera. This is Yuri Konga. And Yuri is definitely one. Hi, how you doing? Are you feeling good? We got a nod, okay.
Now that we're here, I'm really good.
All right, good to know, good to know. Second up is Connie McCutcheon, and Connie is from Niagara region, and she's also heavily involved in CODs and MISA, and of course, Good. There she is. And today's Zoom. How are you, Connie?
It's all good here.
It's all good. Excellent. Excellent. Next up, Jonathan Brown. John's our Director of Education. Jonathan, welcome. How are you doing today? Your mic is still muted. I could read your lips, though. You're saying not so good? Really?
Not so good.
Really?
Really?
A chance to say?
But I'm going to feel good after this.
Yeah, okay. All right, script notes, yes. Okay, so we're all good, and it's all about good. We've got some good news to share today because we're really excited about all the things that we've been planning. And we've done a lot of things over the COVID experience. So first up is going to be discussion about the website. And Yuri is going to take that on. And Yuri, were you going to share your screen or do you want me to attempt to do that?
Okay. Thank you. And thank everybody for attending. This is really exciting for us. And we're calling it 2.0 because previously we've just been an annual conference. And that's been the focus. So the websites that you've been seeing from our organization has really been focused on the annual conference. But you'll see here with the new one, it's an association website, and we have lots of new things that are going on. Looking at the mission, which is talking about what's fundamentally important to our organization, which is supporting the open government and open data principles for sustainable community well-being. And we do that through knowledge sharing, open dialogue, and delivering programs. So on the home page, you'll see we've alluded to Sir Tim Berners-Lee because he was an early kind of founder, if you will, around open data and open information. and a little bit about what we do as a grassroots nonprofit. Also interesting to note that Good has recently become an endorsing institution for open data, for the open data principles with the Open Data Charter, International Open Data Charter. And we'll talk about that a little later as well. And so we're providing something new, some new initiatives with this version 2.0. One of them is mentor engagement, dialogue, one-on-one dialogue with the mentors that Good currently has, and that can be done with a corporate membership. And growing open is, so we each have our kind of informal networks around open data and open gov. So with a membership in the Go Open Data Association, we start to formalize kind of the community and make the connections available to everybody. So I'm just going to quickly go through kind of the content that we have. We have about that speaks to the mission, the team, the history, the projects that we have, and also interesting, I'm just going to pull this up, the collaboration. So collaboration is one of is an imperative that we practice, and we have some already set up with the International Open Data Charter, the Governance Lab or GovLab that many of you are familiar with, and our national partner, if you will, the Canadian Open Data Society. So that's the starting point, and there are others that will come in the future. So next we have events, and there you can see what we currently have on tap, I should say. Basically, once a month we have either a webinar or a GOODcafé. So you can see we have Open Data Charter Principles, the third wave. I've just got a note here. It says my internet is unstable, so I may cut in and out, and I apologize for that. Then we have information about mentoring. We have blogs. There's a blog that tells you about what's new in GOOD 2.0. We have a membership. Join us. We'd really like for you to join us, and then we start working together as a broader community. We have an opportunity for you to volunteer. There's a lot of initiatives and things that are going on right now, so there's lots of opportunities for you to become actively involved to the degree that you're able to, because we know people are busy and a lot on their plate already. Contact us, and also an opportunity to donate if you believe in what we're doing. The donation allows you some choices as to how much and what you'd like to donate to. Project support, technology infrastructure, and research and advocacy are the things that you can donate individually. So, and there's our blog. And I think with that, Keith, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yuri. And that is our web. So a reminder, the website address, goopendata.ca. And it's nice to have it live, isn't it, Yuri? It's been a bit of a road we traveled on, that's for sure. Okay, next up, we've got Connie, who's going to talk about memberships, community engagements, and volunteering for good. If you're ready, Connie, take it away.
I'm ready. I've got some good news about the Good membership. Good 2.0 introduces memberships in the association for the first time. There's two categories, a single for $25 and corporate, which is $100, and you get 5 members for that, plus some extra perks. Single member benefits include event discounts, priority conference registration, and free access to the webinars and newsletters of Good. Corporate benefits include the same as the single for up to 5 named members and mentor sessions, which Keith just mentioned, and Yuri just mentioned, and Keith's gonna speak about it a little bit later. Yuri just also mentioned that we have some opportunities to volunteer. We have lots of new opportunities with Good 2.0 to volunteer. Those who volunteered with Good before know the feeling you get and sense of accomplishment. Our volunteering also expands your personal network and the information stories in your circle. Lots of volunteer opportunities, from working with our committees to being part of the team looking after technology to education and program planning. Good opportunities to volunteer in one or more good, interesting initiatives. In fact, we actually have joining us 2 new members for our Good Operations Committee. That's Cody Schachter and my fan. This is Ontario's leading open data nonprofit. Join us and become part of our great open community.
Thank you, Connie. And actually, my fan is separate. Cody Schachter and my fan. If for anyone who thought that Cody is Connie's fan, I'm sure he is, but just in case to clarify. So welcome, and also welcome, Cody. The mailing address, by the way, to reach out to us, and we hope you use it and use it well. We'll get back to you for sure. Connect at goopendata.ca. That's go-opendata.ca. Next up is my man, Jonathan, who's going to talk about good webinars. Take it away, sir.
Thanks, Keith. I'm feeling much better now. I feel good now that we have all these new volunteers. In addition to volunteering, we'll have more knowledge sharing and community building opportunities via ongoing virtual events and in person once we're allowed. Today, we're participating in our new format, GOODcafé, a half-hour lunchtime get-together to provide info and discuss current news and issues served up by Keith, our barrister. Between now and June, we have scheduled webinars in cafes that Yuri went over on the following topics: the Open Data Charter Principles in February, where are we with Open Data and International Open Data Day, both in March, third wave of Open Data in April, and finally our annual conference, which Yuri will speak to next. We'd love to hear your suggestions on themes for our events. Please check out our website and either contact us directly there or simply drop us an email. The email address again is connect@go-opendata.ca, all lowercase. Contact info is also posted in the chat room. And now back to you, Keith.
Thank you, Jonathan. I think I've been advanced because you called me the barrister as opposed to barista. So, if anyone needs any legal help, give us a shout. Next up, we're going to talk to a conference, and this is really the Good Keystone event. This is what we're known for. So we're bringing all these other things to bear, but we haven't forgotten about the conference. So back to Yuri, who's going to talk about what we've got in store for 2021. Yuri.
Great, thanks, Keith. And just a little bit of history for people who are not totally familiar. The Go Open Data event started in 2013, and we've held that. And actually, the next year we moved it to 2 days, being the conference and a Saturday hackathon. That was in 2014. And we've had it every year except for last year, 2020, that we unfortunately had to cancel for the reasons that it's COVID. And it's still here to the extent that the decision has been made that we're going to hold the 2021 conference, but it will be totally virtual. We're not going to take the chances with any health issues coming up for people. So it will be totally virtual. But we're happy to say that it's going to happen in the same time frame. This year it'll be May 6th to 8th. And we've carried forward the theme from 2020. In fact, we came up with a theme in the fall of 2019, and it is open data for community well-being. and it's so apropos in the circumstances that we're at now. So the format this year, we're going to kick off with a Thursday that provides a number of virtual workshops. Then the Friday is the main conference that has a plenary session with keynote speakers and a number of panels. And then in the afternoon, there's a number of concurrent sessions that are available. And then on Saturday, we have the hackathon, which Jonathan is leading. So there's an opportunity to do that virtually. And we're looking at specialized virtual conference software that is supposed to enhance the user experience. So hopefully we'll come up with something that will be better than just a Zoom meeting. And there's lots of opportunities to contribute to the program and the logistics and all the other things that go along with the annual conference. So again, welcome the opportunity for you to tell us that you're interested in volunteering. So with that, back to you, Keith.
Thank you very much. And now we'll talk about the oft mentioned here Good Mentoring Program. This is certainly a new initiative for us, and we thought, based on some of our backgrounds, that we might want to offer this up. So essentially, it's a new engagement option for corporate members. So you have to be a corporate member to participate, but you can connect with one of our mentors, who happen to be at the moment Jonathan, Yuri, and myself. It's not a consulting service. It's really an opportunity to just have a discussion with some people that have gone through some of the stages of open data licenses, privacy issues, those kind of things. And we'll have a bit of a discussion between us and find out where you're at and where you might want to be in some of the things that we've been through. Because certainly where it comes to open data at this stage of the game, there's a lot of things that have been done already. So there really is no point, dare I say it, that cliche of reinventing the wheel. So have some discussion and let you know really what's up and what's happened. And we've got a mentor request form on the web, which is the way to instigate this. And that gives us a bit of an idea of where you're at. Have you started already? Are you really right at the beginning, etc.? So that gives us some context when we then reach out to you and set up a time to meet. By the way, I want to note that it's confidential engagements, by the way. We may have some discussion about making a blog about it, especially if you've had some successes with it, but that will be entirely up to you to trigger. So confidentiality ensured, at least at the start, as we go through, and then we'll see whether you want to broadcast that. So that's up to you. All right, that's really the new stuff. And now we're going to go into what we're calling the refill, which is essentially some time to have some chat and discuss things. One of the things that I was just sent this morning, speaking of the ODC, which is our next webinar, Open Data Charter, we've got a note from them. Everyone at the Open Data Charter is thrilled to welcome the Canadian Go Open Data Association and support to embrace the Charter principles. We look forward to seeing how the Good Association will carry on this task in their province and believe this is just the beginning of a long and solid collaboration that helps strengthen the culture of openness in Ontario, Canada, and the world. We're here to support you in whatever way we can. Congratulations and more to the team. So thanks a lot. And that's important because it's nice of them to do that. But we're actually looking at having those kind of engagements and involving with other people that are involved. And that includes across Canada and indeed the world. So that's exciting. And that will be a great webinar coming up in March, by the way. So for the refill, it's a chance for us to discuss some things. So we're interested if you want to engage. I believe your mics would be enabled if you just connect in if you want to, or you can use the Q&A for some questions and answers, and I'll share those, and we'll see if the panel wants to discuss. While I'm waiting to see what happens from your side, I'll share the results of the poll. How do you like your coffee? You can see that we had, I believe it was 23 or so results. If a clear winner, I guess it's black, if I'm reading it right. I'm going to try Paul. We'll try to get back to you, Brent. See?
Hey Keith, can you
There we
hear
go.
me?
Yes, indeed. Paul Vetz.
Great. Well, I mostly put up my hand to help you test it out, see if you could unmute me, and also to say congratulations to everybody. This is really exciting. I'm thrilled to see what you've all been up to, and looking forward to staying tuned. So that's it for me.
Okay, excellent. We thought one of the things we could talk about in the time we have left is the fact that with COVID having happened and still occurring, obviously, the value of open data in this crisis. And in fact, probably there could be more data that is opened up. But is this not a teachable moment for us? I think I would say there is. So if the panel may want to weigh in on that. I did get a
I'll
comment.
jump.
Oh, sorry, Connie, just before you start, Brent is asking, is there a mailing list? And the answer to that is yes, we are assembling a list. What we're using right now is a list from previous conferences. So we're hoping you'll go to the website and sign in that way. And we're going to get a new mailing list out of that, Brent in particular, because we do want to get a list that's accurate and that people, in fact, want to get mail from us. Take it away, Connie, your answer or your comment.
Yeah, you know what teachable moment you said about the COVID data. I think so many of us started like it was like all at once, full steam ahead. And I think a little bit of if we had have had the opportunity in hindsight to have organized a little, we would have made it so much easier to compare data across jurisdictions. I know I look and I see age cohorts are different in different municipalities. And you know what? Going backwards in that data is going to be a challenge. But I think there's always going to be teachable moments like this. 2020 is always going to be hindsight, right?
Yeah, good point. And in fact, someone was saying to me the other day that we have 2021 as if 2020 WON, and then 2022. So I hope we're in much better shape before that. But yeah, certainly I think government is the ones that have the data. Public health, obviously, it raises issues of confidentiality, of course. Um, but one of the tenants, I guess, not tenements, is the idea of, the more information that's shared, the more understanding and trust is developed. And how are we as citizens, let's say, able to accept the information, even if it's bad? I think there is a feeling sometimes not to release stuff because, oh, it's worse. And if you saw what we saw, you'd be really um, worried and so on. So there's that side of it. But I think, we've already seen that people, once this data started to come out, there were off government people, off universities and so on, that were looking at the data and creating apps and so on. And it was really quite helpful. And the media started to turn to some of these apps to get their information and stuff. And that's really part of the ethos, isn't it, of open data?
Yeah, Keith,
Yeah.
back in April, uh, I participated in a hackathon called Together versus the Virus. It was right across Canada, and this was an event that followed up similar events in Europe, Germany, Switzerland, and Estonia. It was fantastic the way that people came together over a weekend and discussed, narrowed down what the problem is, the challenges, and then came up with prototypes. But it didn't stop there. I've been able to network and mentor young people that are coming out of GIS programs or environmental studies programs. And to bring you up to speed, that program is ongoing where we're looking at the redistribution chain for food during a pandemic using data analysis and data visualization. And then this morning, before coming on to this one, I was talking to a fourth year climate action energy policy class with Professor Stephen Hill from Trent University. And we're looking to do some group projects on that leading up to their final project in April. Hopefully that also will fit into what we're doing with Go Open Data.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I can see why, Jonathan, you're our director of education. You really do have your finger on a lot of things, which is really impressive. So good on you. Much appreciated for us. Brent actually had a follow-up to his question too. How do I sign up? And correct me if I'm wrong, Yuri, but on the website, there's Join Us tabs, right? And that's where you want to click, and that should get you onto our mailing list. Is that right?
There on the footer, there is a sign up just by your email for the subscriber list, and there's also a contact us form, and then a volunteer form and membership form, obviously.
Okay, so yes, please engage. We also have a LinkedIn group, by the way, that we're just starting up. It's called Good. And the best way to find it really is to just search for Good, and it does come up in the search. And join us there. We plan to use that as a conversation space as well, and see how that may go for us as well in the LinkedIn community. So if you're on LinkedIn, sign up, and we're going to be posting our blogs there as well as on the website. So we're going to kind of make sure we're all in the loop there between our different devices. We're also on Twitter. And our Twitter account is slightly different than the web address. It's a dash. No, it's an underscore. Sorry. So it's go_open data is the at go_open data is our Twitter account. So if you haven't followed us yet, please do. We'll certainly be announcing our events through LinkedIn and Twitter as our main social media platforms. And obviously, when we get the mailing list solid, we will send things out on that list as well to let you know what's happening. And yeah, I think it's good for the future. We're optimistic about 2021 for all kinds of reasons, and I think we got to press on, right, and carry on with the information and do what we can. So even a virtual conference will be an interesting experience for us. If you've attended any of these through last year, they've got their pluses as well as their minuses and things like that. And it'll be interesting to see how we navigate that. But we kind of consider ourselves a grassroots group, right? We're not going to get too uptight about being as awesomely set up as other organizations who have a lot more money and capital behind them that can go out and hire companies who've got full broadcast facilities and stuff. So um, we're not going to make a secret about that. I think we'll do the best we can and have some fun with it, right? Just like if we were in person, we don't want to become too automaton-like as we do these things. So if we forget to unmute, hey, that seems like almost everybody has an unmute issue in their life, right? Um, so those are the comments I wanted to add. We've got just about 3 minutes left, if I get a time cue, 2 minutes actually. So anyone have any further comments from out there in watching land? 32 attendees, which is great. Sharing the results of the poll again, because I didn't quite finish with that. It's interesting too. 14%, 3 people said they don't like coffee to begin with. So we were thinking about trying to serve some virtual wine, right, Connie? Especially coming from Niagara. And that would be after hours, however. So it would be a post 12:15 p.m. That we'd be able to offer the wine, I think. Double, I'm kind of surprised. Only one person of the participants said they like the double. How many times have you been in line at Tim's or Starbucks or wherever, right? So maybe the cafe won't offer double. I don't know. What do you think? With
Keith,
milk? Yes, go ahead.
yeah, the other thing that's important from the poll is the 14% that don't drink coffee, don't like coffee. I think one of the things that's important is to look at the outliers and make sure that we are being inclusive, especially when it comes to things like big data, machine learning, and algorithms. So the poll itself sort of demonstrates that in action.
So
And
true. Go ahead.
and
Sorry.
to make it open, the results, right? The data
Yeah,
that we're collecting.
yeah. So many analogies we can make and so on. And even in terms of outliers, it's not the same thing, but we were talking about rural versus city and connectivity and so on, right? And how strong the internet is and availability and things like that. These are issues too that are really relevant to where we are now. When we talk about the future, but we almost, well, we do. We have to be on the internet for so many things. And if you don't really have great access, or for example, you can't put on a Zoom meeting with reliability because network connectivity isn't that great. Those are issues, right? Especially with working at home and all those kind of things. So, get to it, right? It's time we serve it up, as I say, for sure. Just checking if there's anything else in chat. There's a one comment here is actually directed to us in the panel, but I think I can talk about it. Search results say Go Open Data Association is coming soon. It works when you click on it. It comes to Good website. Google results will be updated now that the site is launched. Yes, in fact. And we've done some SEO on the site. So we're actually hoping, and I'm not going to say for sure with any money back guarantee, but we're hoping that even if you enter good, GOOD, Go Open Data is going to come up in those results. Maybe not on the top, but we're kind of experimenting a bit with SEO to see if that works. But certainly if you type things like Go Open Data Association, associations for open data in Toronto, or sorry, I shouldn't say that, Ontario. You don't want to be Toronto-centric. It should come up. So we're anxious to see. We're going to be looking at that over the next 2 to 3 weeks to let the bugs do their thing and scan the sites and so on and so on. So that should be exciting as well.
Keith,
All right. Yes, Jonathan, last comment.
last comment. I just want to say on that last part about rural urban, the benefit of the COVID. I live in Coburg, and I'm also a member of Civic Tech Toronto. And I would drive in, which is like an hour and a half drive, maybe on average once every 2 months. But with the Civic Tech going virtual, I've been able to attend and participate more. And it's a real great two-way street between, urban forestry and what we're doing with planting trees out here in Coburg with our forest management strategy. So those are all great networking opportunities to overcome that rural urban divide.
Absolutely.
And remote, I should add.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it's almost end of break time. In fact, we're slightly over. I just want to remind folks our next cafe is going to be on March the 2nd. And we're really going to talk about where we are right now with open data. We kind of thought that would be a good place. So, guests to be named later. First webinar is coming up February 2nd, not too far from now. Open Data Charter and Principles. That's the ODC who kindly sent us a message. And that will be exciting because it really starts with some of the principles, doesn't it? Also, I wanted to remind some folks, if you're with the Canadian Open Data Society, they're doing webinars. They launched in the fall formally, and they've got an event coming up this Thursday, the Open Data Iron Chef, with the person that we know quite well, Richard Pietro, who is the head chef of this. So go to the COD's website, Canadian Open Data Society, and you'll get the details there. And certainly that's worthwhile. And we plan to use the chat or the coffee cafe as a forum, by the way, to announce events, at least things that we know that are coming up. So really, until we meet again, it's been nice to have one episode with you, and we look forward to more. We're going to run a quick credit reel just after I finish here, and that will be that for today. We'll end the meeting, and we will post this on the website as soon as we can figure that out with YouTube and so on. So like I say, until next time, we'll keep a pot of coffee on the burner for you. It's been great talking to you. We'll see you again soon.